Let's go ahead and have a seat. Some of you are already in position. Let's find our nice straight spine. Lift up through the crown of the head. Let your shoulders slide down your back. And just take a moment to take a deep breath in through your nose. And a big sigh through your mouth. It just kind of signals to your body that it's time to settle in and prepare for yoga. So as you close your eyes, just notice what you feel. And notice it all. So of course we're looking for what we might feel that's, tight or achy or whatever, but also notice, like, what is the temperature of your skin? What do you feel emotionally? What feels really good right now? Notice your thinking, notice your breaths, notice your energy. And then let's go ahead and bring our palms together in front of the heart. We're going to take a moment to set our intention for our practice today. And then I want you to take another deep breath in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Now before we start moving, I want us to get really firmly established in our Ujjayi breath today. So if you can, while you're still just seated and there's no movement happening, see if you can kind of access that partially restricted throat that allows you to sigh through your nose. This is all nose breathing, by the way. And I would love for you to keep that breath throughout your practice today. And I'll remind you periodically, but if you can, just keep your Ujjayi breath going. Just listen for that continuous thread of breath running through your practice today. So using our breath, let's go ahead and do some cat-cow stretches, arching around in the back to loosen up our spine a little bit. Be really mindful of the inhales and exhales and moving with them. If you want to throw in some lateral movement, you can do that. And on your next beautiful Ujjayi exhale, you're going to move into child's pose. And then we'll scoot forward into Sphinx. And then from your Sphinx, take your first downward facing dog. Please feel free to move a little bit this first time if you need to. I usually like to stretch my calves a little bit by pressing one heel down and bending the opposite knee and then switching. Feel free to do that. Whatever kind of movements you need. And then once you feel like you've kind of eased into it, let's find some stillness with the palms flat. The shoulder blades moving away from each other, the hips moving up and back, and the heels pressing down. Walk your feet forward, keeping your knees bent, just dangling in ragdoll, which of course is a great place to listen to your breath since you're all curled up into yourself here. And then on your next inhale, you're going to reach the arms all the way up and overhead. Stretch up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. And just pausing here, maintaining your Ujjayi breath. really get rooted through your feet, like connect down, feel the soles of your feet. Every time we do that, it also roots us in the here and now. So if you're feeling the bottoms of your feet right now, you're in the moment because it's pretty impossible to do it any other way. Take a big inhale, reach the arms up and stretch. And as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. And exhale back down. We're going to step back with our left foot. So just take a nice deep lunge and hold this for a couple of breaths. Make sure you're still doing Ujjayi breathing. Drop your left knee down. I'd like you to put your right hand on the inside of your right knee. Roll onto the outside edge of your right foot and apply a gentle amount of pressure so that you can feel your right hip. And then begin to extend your right leg so that you can stretch out your right hamstring. Once the right leg is as straight as you can possibly get it today, bring the toes and the whole foot back towards your shins. You're kind of flexing or dorsiflexing your right foot and maybe pulling the chest forward. And of course, you're still keeping that beautiful continuous Ujjayi breathing. Bend your right knee. Bring the arms up and overhead. Let's tilt the pelvis back, lift the chest, and allow the hips to move forward so that we can find sensation on the front of that left hip. Bring the hands back down. We're going to move back onto hands and knees, wag the tail a little bit. Those of you that like to do vinyasas, you may take them from here on out. The rest of us will take child's pose. From our child's pose, let's scoot into Sphinx. And then from here, downward facing dog. Stretch it back. On your next Ujjayi inhale, take a big step forward with your left foot. And then let's drop the right knee down. Left hand's going to come to the inside of the left knee. Roll onto the outside edge of your left foot and apply some pressure so that you can feel your left outer hip. And then tune in to the sound of your own breath. Let's go ahead and extend the left leg and get into our left hamstring today. Straightening the leg, flexing the left foot and toes, and pulling the chest forward. And then bending the left knee. Bringing the arms up and overhead, tilting the pelvis back, and allowing the hips to move forward until we feel that stretch on the front of the right hip. Still breathing a beautiful, deep Ujjayi breath. Hands come down and we step forward to our standing forward bend. Hold this for a couple of breaths. Just like I said in ragdoll, your forward bends are a great time to listen to the sound of your own breath since you're all folded in. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up and overhead stretch. And exhale, bring your palms together in front of your heart. So we're going to use these beautiful Ujjayi breaths to coordinate that opening out movement that we do. And we'll go ahead and add the side bend into it and we'll skip the forward part. So I'll just talk you through it. This will seem very familiar. Palms are together in front of the heart. We want to do this in time to our Ujjayi breathing. As we inhale, we reach the arms up. As we exhale, we rotate open to the right. As we inhale, the arms come up and overhead again. We return to center. As we exhale, we rotate open to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to prayer. Let's do it again. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, rotate open to your right. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, open to your left. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, side bend to your right. Inhale back up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale back up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Bring your fingertips to your shoulders, please. We're going to inhale and reach the elbows back. Exhale, squeeze your elbows together. Ujjayi breathing. Inhale, arms out. Exhale, arms together. One more time. Inhale, arms back. Exhale, arms together. Release the arms down. Roll your shoulders back. Palms together. Feet together. All the way together if you can. Just pause for a moment to root down. Again, that brings us right back to the here and now. It roots us in the present. So inhale, reach the arms up. If you can, bend your knees, squeeze your thighs together, stick your tailbone back, lift your heart, and perhaps look up. 3 breaths here. On your next inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, fold all the way forward into your standing forward bend. Pause here to listen for your Ujjayi breath. On your next inhale, take a big step back with your left foot. And then plant your left hand. And on your next natural exhale, take the right hand to the ceiling. Ujjayi breathing. We're going to bring the fingertips of the right hand down inside the right foot. Spin your left heel flat and take your left hand to the ceiling. On your next inhale, come on up. You're already in the leg position for warrior two. Let's reverse our warrior. Left hand on the left thigh, reach the right arm up and over. Listen to your breath. Keep it even and fluid. On an inhale, come all the way back up and straighten your right leg. Exhaling, lengthening out through the right side of the spine to find your triangle pose today. And then just bring your right hand down. Pause for a moment to lengthen out over your right leg. And I'd like you to step straight back to downward facing dog. One more deep Ujjayi breath here. And then you can walk your feet forward. Standing forward bend. Inhale and reach the arms up. And exhale, bring your palms together in front of your heart. Bring your feet all the way together. And then inhale, reach up, and as you exhale, just like we did before, squeeze your knees together, stick your tailbone down and back, lift your chest and look up if that's okay with your neck. On your next inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, fold forward. Hold it for a couple of breaths and listen to your Ujjayi breath. We're going to step back with the right leg here. So you have a left foot forward lunge. Just hold that for a moment. And then plant that right hand and rotate. Sorry, I've got you doing this the opposite way, don't I? Look at us doing the same side twice. What did I do here? Did we do our left foot forward last time and you can't even answer me? This feels the same to me. I'm going to step my right foot forward. And then I'm going to step my left leg back. You guys do your other side. I don't know if I said it wrong or did it wrong. Having one of those days. My apologies. We should be on the other side. Hopefully you're with me on this. Nope, I got it now. All right, it is left foot forward. Do you see what happens when you just get too caught up in left and right? My apologies. Plant your right hand. Take your left hand towards the ceiling. This is the side we should be on. I'm really sorry. Did not mean to interrupt your practice. Reconnect with your Ujjayi breath. I certainly will. And then we're going to bring the left fingertips down inside the left foot. Spin the right heel flat and take the right hand to the ceiling. Just rise up into your warrior two. Your legs should already be in position for that. And we'll reverse our warrior. Right hand on the right thigh, left arm up and over. Coming back up and straightening the left leg, lengthening out to find your triangle pose on this side. And then we're just going to bring the right hand down, take a moment to lengthen out over the left leg. And then step straight back to downward facing dog. Pause for a moment and drop to your knees. Those of you that would like to take a vinyasa, you may take one. Otherwise, take a child's pose. Scoot forward into Sphinx. And we'll move back into downward facing dog. Now, for those of you that are nursing knee injuries or issues, you'll be doing figure 4 on your back with your right ankle crossed over your left knee. If your knees are pretty happy and healthy, or at least in this case, the right one, I'd like you to raise your right leg straight behind you, three-legged dog. And then bring your right leg underneath you with a bent knee. Let the right shin find the mat. Left knee drops down and begins to inch back until you feel your right glute. And you can come onto your forearms, or if your body allows it, you can even flatten your torso out. So we're in one-legged pigeon, or you're on your back in a figure 4 stretch with your right ankle across your left knee, hugging it in. And we're going to be here for a few breaths. So whichever position you're in, really focus in on your Ujjayi breathing and notice how when you really have a beautiful fluid breath, every exhale releases a small amount of sensation that you're feeling. In other words, you feel your muscles and connective tissue letting go. Two more breaths, nice deep Ujjayi breaths. If you are in a figure 4 stretch, you're welcome to just uncross the legs, hug your knees in and rock, and you can stay on your back. If you're in a pigeon, we're just going to transition into downward facing dog for a moment to get a little blood flow back. For those of you doing figure 4, you'll now cross your left ankle over your right knee and hug it into the chest. Those of you in downward facing dog, you're going to take your left leg back for a three-legged dog, and then bring the leg underneath you with the knee bent, and slide your right leg back until you feel your left glute. And then come onto the forearms, maybe even deeper. Tune back into the sound of your Ujjayi breathing and notice how it affects your musculature here. And just a couple more breaths. If you are in figure 4 stretch, uncross your legs, hug your knees in, and eventually you can meet us in a downward facing dog. If you're in pigeon, just go straight to down dog and stretch it back. Press those hips back, lengthen your spine. Those of you taking vinyasas can shift into plank and flow through one. The rest of us are going to drop to our knees and take a child's pose. From child's pose, scoot into Sphinx or Cobra. And then from there, we'll move into downward facing dog. Slowly walk your feet forward to a standing forward bend. Pause and listen for your breath. And then on your next inhale, raise the arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale, palms come together in front of the heart. So we're going to balance today really simply. I'm going to have you hugging a knee into your chest. So here's the deal. If your knees don't like deep flexion, which means a deep bend, you can just grab behind the thigh. That's fine. If your legs don't come up that high, you can hug by grabbing your pants, because the idea is we want to keep our torso vertical. I don't want you rounding down to grab a knee. We'll be staying straight up. But the idea is this: if you're hanging onto your knee, you don't have your hands. So it's somewhat more challenging in one aspect and then easier in another. But here's what we're going to focus on. We're going to be very, very straight and vertical. And then we're going to focus on the sound of our Ujjayi breath. So you can stand on whichever leg you want to start with. I'm going to challenge you to do 6 slow Ujjayi breaths on each side. So the idea is be very vertical and maintain that. If you start to hunch around forward, that's the direction you'll go. So here we go. Choose the foot you're going to stand on. Bring your knee into your chest or wherever you can get it, and listen to your breath. And the leg goes back down if you were still hanging on to it. Ujjayi breath, aside from bringing more oxygen into our body and making us calm down, it kind of powers down the central nervous system. The other thing about it that's really cool is that sound is also soothing to your central nervous system. So if balancing usually causes you anxiety, if you really listen to the sound of your breath, you should be just fine. We're going for the other side. Here we go. And release. Feet together, palms together, rooting down and feeling the soles of your feet, grounding not only to the mat and to the earth, but to this moment. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. And exhale back down. Step back onto all fours. So just a little bit of spinal stabilization, and then you get to move to a seated position. We're going to extend the right leg out. And if you feel like you can, the left arm, and simply hold it. If possible, look forward. Left hand and right knee down. It's a different kind of balance. Extend your left leg behind you, right arm out. Remember, your breath will get you through anything. Quite frankly, it's gotten you all the way to this point. Not just in your practice, but in your life. Bring it all back down. Wag your tail if you need to. On your next exhale, everybody take a child's pose. And take 3 extra deep Ujjayi breaths into your low back. From this child's pose, we are simply going to swivel around and extend the legs. And just like that, you are in Dandasana. So taking a moment to connect the sit bones now. Now we root down through the base of the pelvis, still rooting into the earth and still rooting into the present moment, and listening to our breath, which, by the way, is the other perfect way to anchor yourself to the present. The only time that you're breathing is literally right now. So if you're listening to your breath, you're here in the moment. On your next inhale, raise the arms up and look up, kind of like we did in Utkatasana, and then exhale and lean out over the legs. Let your hands be wherever they want to be. It can be your calves, your ankles, your feet. And then just breathe, lengthen your spine, and then relax your neck. Come all the way up from that. You're going to keep your left leg straight. We're going to bring the right foot all the way across the left thigh. Your right foot should be flat. We're going to twist to the right. So if possible, and I know everybody's got a little bit of different mobility things, your right hand should be right behind your backside, not way back. You want to be vertical. Push into the floor for a straight spine and begin to rotate to the right, either hugging your right knee or bringing your left upper arm outside that right knee or thigh. And if you can keep your right leg straight, that's awesome. Now at this point, your midsection is twisted and hopefully somewhat compressed. So your Ujjayi breaths are going to be a little shorter. They might be a little louder because they're all just in the chest. They should no longer be able to actually even move into your abdomen. You're gonna go ahead and rotate all the way around and do what I call the easy twist with your left hand behind you. Your right hand can just go into the arch of that right foot. Straight spine, twist to your left. Now, because you're not really compressed in your abdomen, these 3 breaths should be able to find their way below the navel. Unwind yourself. Let your right foot just come to the inside of your left thigh, but we're going to bring the left foot up to meet it. Hands behind your backside, lift up through the crown of the head. Press your knees out to the side, reach them down towards the ground and breathe. Now we're going to extend the right leg. Pick your left foot up and bring it across the right thigh with your left foot flat. If possible, left hand is right behind your backside, pushing into the floor so that you can twist to your left. And so again, vertical, straight spine, rotating deeply to the left, trying to find that sense of squeezed, compressed abdomen, so that as you do your Ujjayi breaths here, you can tell they're mostly just in the rib cage and up. We're going to unwind now and bring the right hand behind us. Left hand can just kind of tuck into the arch of the left foot. This is the easy way. Rotating to the right. Now we should be able to move the breath down into the abdomen. And then as you unwind, just pick this left foot up and let it lie flat. Bring your right foot up to meet your left foot. Interlace your fingers over your toes. Lift your chest. Press the knees out to the side and down and start to lean out over your legs. Now you can either do this with a flat neutral spine or you can round down. Your legs don't have to be way far out in front of you. I want you to tune into your breathing here. Come on up, and all you're gonna do is pick your knees up. So the knees are bent, the feet are flat, your feet are together. Obviously, honor your body, but I'd like you to use your Ujjayi breath for strength. It literally translates to powerful breath, or the breath that brings you victory, victorious breath. We're gonna try and take 3 full breaths to roll down onto our back. Now you might get halfway down for a couple of breaths and then just kind of fall the rest of the way. The good news is I can't see you beautifully from where I'm at. I can kind of see you, but not perfectly. So if that happens, I may not know. Simply do your best. The idea is this: the feet stay flat, the arms are out in front of you, and we're gonna try and take 3 breaths to get all the way down to our back. If you made it, congratulations. And if you kind of fell the last part of the way, that's okay. We'll work on core strength, just not today. Hug your knees in, rock side to side. And then for your inversion today, it really just depends upon your body and what you're capable of. If you can do a shoulder stand or any variation of that, if you can even just hoist your backside into your hands, that's perfect. You're also welcome to stick a block underneath your hips and let the legs float out. But if you can do some version of shoulder stand, that would be my preference for you, because I want you to have to kind of breathe towards the back. Even if your legs drop over and it looks like plow, also cool, breathe towards the back. If you need to, though, of course, you may do bridge. So if possible, let's go ahead and get hips into hands. And you just do the best you can. And I'd like you to really just focus on breathing towards your back. And yes, it should still be an Ujjayi breath. Those of you with your legs overhead, if you are comfortable in plow, which is with the legs dropping all the way overhead, do that for one more breath and really inflate the back. If that doesn't work for you, roll all the way down and hug your knees in. That's where we're going next. So whatever pose you're in, bring it on down, hug your knees in, and rock side to side. We're going to keep the left knee hugged into the chest and extend the right leg all the way out. Just hold this for a moment, breathe. And then we're going to transition this into a twist to the right. Today, you can just let this whole right leg come all the way over onto the floor. I'm sorry, this is your left leg. My apologies, you guys. I've really got my directions confused today. I have no idea why. Your left leg is twisted over to the right. And we're going to take the left arm out to the left. And I want you to focus on your Ujjayi breathing here. So we're trying to keep the left leg on the floor over on this right side. And just breathe our left arm or shoulder blade all the way down. Two more breaths on this side. You should hear your breath. It's Ujjayi breath. And then on your next inhale, come back up. As you exhale, hug your left knee. As you inhale, you bring the right knee up to meet it. Exhale, hug them both. Please feel free to rock. And then when you're ready, your left leg will extend all the way out onto the mat. Just keep your right knee hugged in for a moment. And then we're going to transition this into a twist to the left. So your right arm opens out to the right, and we're going to let the whole right leg come across the body. So your knee and shin and foot hopefully are on the floor. And you can hang on to that right leg with your left hand. Your right arm is opened out to the right. And we're just breathing it down with these beautiful Ujjayi breaths. Last breath. Listen to yourself breathing. On your next inhale, come on up. Exhale, hug the right knee in. Inhale, bring your left knee up to meet it, and exhale, hug them both. Feel free to rock side to side. And then from here, for just a few more breaths, we're going to continue our Ujjayi breathing, but now you get to coordinate your happy baby movements to your breath. So kind of play with that, be adventurous. When you feel like you're ready, place your feet flat on the mat. And then allow your knees to drop open with the soles of the feet together. This will be our last Ujjayi breath. As you inhale, flatten your back, pressing your low back into the mat. Exhale, hold it there. Inhale. And exhale, release. You may begin to extend your legs, separate the feet. And take a deep breath in. Exhale through your mouth, letting it all go, particularly the Ujjayi breath. Check in with your body, make sure everything is positioned correctly for Shavasana, which of course includes having your hands below the height of the heart, having the eyes closed if you're comfortable with that, and the jaw relaxed, and having all body parts releasing any remaining tension. So you're just literally settling in to the earth. Your body is going slack. All tension has left your body. Your breath is just kind of starting to fade into the background. You're still breathing, but your breath is shallower and quieter. Now notice what it sounds like for you to no longer have that Ujjayi breath as a thread or a soundtrack to your practice. Notice how it feels for you to have this really quiet, soft, shallow breath. Does it allow your body to relax more, to simply settle down with the breath? Is it easy for you to just kind of rest in this silence that the absence of Ujjayi breath has created? And can you stay present with that silence? So just beginning to feel back into your body. Notice your muscles, notice your bones and your joints and your organs. Notice your skin. Notice the temperature of your skin. Notice how everything feels. And notice if that's different from when you felt into your body at the beginning of class. So yes, you've moved a lot. And you've done a continuous Ujjayi breath, which should have calmed your central nervous system and put you into a state of rest and digest. And it should have flooded your body with oxygen. So you should feel as though you have tons of energy in reserve, but right now you're completely relaxed. Start to move the fingers and toes. When you're ready, take that deeper breath in and just stretch. And then exhale through the mouth and relax. Either bringing feet flat to the mat with the knees bent and pointing up, or hugging your knees into your chest. Just pause for a moment on your back and then roll to your right side and pause there. And then press yourself up into a nice, straight, seated position. So you've done all of this Ujjayi breathing through class. You should feel a difference from all of that. Next up, we're going to go ahead and take our breath work a little farther. We're going to do all 4 parts of the breath today, which is an inhale, holding the breath in, an exhale, and then holding the breath out. Just a reminder, if any of that makes you anxious or stressed, then please don't do it. You don't have to do it. But we're going to make it a little simpler today as far as the ratio goes. So when you breathe in, you'll hold your breath for the same amount of time. You'll breathe out for twice as long and then hold the breath out for half of that, or the same as your inhale and internal retention. In other words, you're going to be breathing a 1-1-2-1 ratio. An example, I would inhale for 3, hold my breath in for 3, exhale for 6, hold the breath out for 3, or 4-4-8-4, or 5-5-10-5, whatever. You understand. If, again, any part of the holding makes you anxious or stressed, then you should skip that. So if you need to, it could just be a 1-2 ratio breath. This is all through the nose. Your body is primed for this. You've been doing this Ujjayi breathing throughout your entire practice. Your body's ready for it. Your central nervous system should be ready for it. You should feel calm and relaxed. This should be a very sweet, sweet practice. So let's all inhale through the nose together. Exhale through the nose together. And then off you go. It's your breath. 1-1-2-1 ratio breathing. Go ahead and finish out the breath that you're on, making sure to complete the entire 4-part cycle. And as you do finish it out, please just linger for a moment. Keep your eyes closed. Notice, notice, notice. Do you feel still and quiet inside? Do you feel energized, calm? None of the above. Just observe the effects of your practice and your breath work today. And then slowly bring your palms together in front of your heart. Take a moment in gratitude. Gratitude for your breath and your strength, your power. That Ujjayi breath brings us strength and power and expresses our strength and power. So let's pause in gratitude for that breath. As I said earlier, your breath has literally brought you to this moment. And this moment, this present moment, is really, truly all we have available to us to live in. We're always in the present. It's the only place we can be. Take one more huge inhale. Big sigh. Palms to the forehead, just to remind us to be present, to stay rooted in the here and now. Palms to the lips, reminding us to speak our truth. And palms to the heart, reminding us to keep our hearts open so that we can always practice kindness and compassion and love. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you particularly for putting up with my misdirection and misspeech today. Not sure what's up with that, my apologies, but thank you for hanging in there. I appreciate you always. Namaste.